Okay, example number 1, we are still on section 9.1, part 2. So example number 1, write the equation of the circle centered at 7, 4 with radius 10. So this is just a real quick one to remind you of what the equation of a circle is. If it is centered at 7, 4 and has a radius of 10, then we're going to say x minus 7 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 10 squared or 100. Okay, and then that's all we need to do for that first example. Okay, I'm going to move down here a little bit. For example number 2, now this is has, like you can see, a lot more variables. We're not just working with x or just working with y this time. We have x's and y's all in the same problem, and we also have a constant here. So first step, we need to organize all of our data. So we're going to rewrite. We're going to write our x's first. So group our x's. So x squared minus 18x. And then we're going to group our y's together. So we've got plus y squared plus 8y. And then we're going to move all the constants to the right hand side. So we'll have a negative 16 over here on the right hand side. Okay, no coefficients. Now, no a for a leading coefficient. We need to check both the group of x's and our group of y's for leading coefficients. A is 1 for both of them, so we're good to skip that step. Next thing we need to do is to rewrite, leaving our blanks. So we have x squared minus 18x plus a blank. So that's our x group. Now we're going to group our y's. So y squared plus 8y plus a blank. So we have to complete the square twice now because we have a group of x's and we have a group of y's, and we need to complete the square for both of those because we want this to be in the form of an equation for a circle. And then on the right hand side we did have negative 16, but now we need to add both of our blanks to the right hand side also. So this will keep our equation balanced. And now we're ready to go ahead and complete the square. So we're going to take 18, and we're going to take half of it. So half of 18 is 9. And now we're going to square it. So half of 18 is 9. When we put it up here in the line, we're going to square it. Now we need to bring that 9 squared all the way over here to one of these blanks. And I'm going to write it in one of the blanks as 81. Because over here we're going to work with them numerically. All we care about is the number over here on the right hand side. We want it to be as simplified as possible. Okay, so we're good for our x's. Now let's go on to our y's. So for our y's, we want to take half of 8 this time. Half of 8 is 4. And then we're going to square it. So we'll put 4 squared here. Now when we bring this over here, I am going to write it as 16. Keep it simplified as possible on that right hand side. Okay, now when we factor these, we're going to factor, going to use that x. We're also going to use the negative, and we're going to use this 9. So the factored form for our x group becomes x minus 9 squared. Again, if you need to, FOIL that out and see that when you FOIL this, you get that x squared minus 18x plus 9 squared. The whole purpose for us of completing the square is to get it in this format. So if we've completed our square correctly, this will work every time. Then plus y plus 4 squared. So see, I used my y. Make sure we have the right variable. I used that plus sign, so always the first sign. And then I used the number before I squared. So 4 came down here. Okay, in parentheses squared. So this is our factored form. Equals, on the right hand side, our 16's canceled, and we're left with 81. Okay, so we have a center of 9, negative 4, and a radius of 9. And that's all for example number 2. Okay, example number 3, getting a little bit more difficult. So you can see this time we're actually going to have coefficients in front of our leading terms. So let's first of all organize, rewrite our data, put everything in descending order, group our variables together, and get our constants on that right hand side. So we have 3x squared minus 30x. So our x's are together. Now let's get our y's together. 3y squared minus 18y. And then the constant we want on the right hand side. So subtract that 27 from both sides. Okay. Next we need to factor. So important step. Don't forget to factor. So we're going to factor that 3 out. And we get x squared minus 10x. For our x's, then plus 3. Factor out the 3 for the y's. So y squared minus 6y equals negative 27. Next step, rewrite leaving our blanks. So when we have these groups and we factored that 3 out of our groups, the blank needs to go inside the group. So on the left hand side, we're still going to have 3 out in front. And then we'll have x squared minus 10x plus a blank, then the parenthesis. So make sure that blank is inside your parenthesis. Then 3 times y squared minus 6y plus a blank. Now on the right hand side, when we have a leading coefficient, we have to include the leading coefficient with our blanks. Okay? Because this blank is inside this whole group that's being multiplied by 3. We also have to multiply it by 3 on the right hand side to keep everything balanced. Then the same thing for the second blank. The second blank is also being multiplied by the 3. So when we bring it over here to the right hand side, make sure that you have that coefficient. If you keep getting the wrong answer, this is most likely where you're going to make a mistake on these problems, is forgetting that coefficient. Okay, so now we can go ahead and fill in our blanks. So we need half of 10, which is 5. Square it. When we come over here, now the nice thing is, as long as we remember to set this up correctly, now we don't have to worry about it. We can just go ahead, come over here, and add that 25. So we had 5 squared here, add 25 over here. We'll multiply it by 3 when we simplify. Then here, we're going to take half of 6, which is 3, and square it. Over here on the right hand side, that's going to become 9. And we already have that 3 there being multiplied. So now we've got 3 times factor what's inside the parentheses, which is x minus 5 squared plus 3 times y minus 3 squared is equal to 75. Alright, so now that we have this in the form of a circle, we can divide everything by 3, and this will always happen when you have a circle. If you have any coefficients, they'll always be the same. If this was an ellipse, our coefficients would not be the same, and then we would divide both sides by 75 instead of the 3. Because for an ellipse, our equation on the right hand side is equal to 1. So that's the difference between our equations when we are completing the square. So in this case, we're going to divide everything by 3, and we'll end up with x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 25. So we have a center of 5, 3, and a radius of 5. Alright, now let's go clear back to the top of beginning of this. I went ahead and left my 3 out in front of all of this because I wanted to work through something that had a coefficient that worked out nicely and was fairly easy. But when you are doing these problems, always look at every single term and see if there's anything that you can divide with all of them. At the very beginning of this equation, we could have divided everything by 3 and we wouldn't have had to pull those coefficients out. So just be really careful with that. Watch. It'll really save you a lot of work. Okay, example number 4. Write the equation of the ellipse, and they give you all that information in standard form. So what we're going to do here is we're going to complete the square again. Now notice, not like example number 3, example 4, there's nothing that we can divide everything by. There's no terms that will go, or no constants that will go into every single one of those terms. So there's nothing that we can do to simplify this one. This one's also much more difficult. That's why I did not simplify the last example. But we're still going to go through all of those same steps. So step number 1, organize all of our data. So 3x squared plus 216x plus 25y squared plus 250y equals negative 49. Okay. Next step is going to be to factor. So we're going to factor out a 36. So factoring out a 36, I believe that was 6, right? Yep. So factoring out a 36, we get x squared plus 6x. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple steps here in one. Let's go ahead and add our blank in there at the same time. Okay, and then we need to factor out a 25 from our y terms. So we'll have y squared plus 10y plus a blank is equal to negative 49. Now we need to be really careful over here when we add our blanks. Always check to see if we have coefficients. In this case we do. So we're going to have a 36 times a blank and a 25 times a blank over here. So we'll want to make sure we get them in the correct order. Okay, so now we're ready to complete our square. So take a half of 6, which is 3, and square it. Take, let's go ahead and add that over. So that was with our 36, it's going to be 9 over here. Then we want to take half of 10, which is 5, and then square it. Becomes 25 over here. Now we can go ahead and factor on the left hand side. So we get x plus 3 squared plus 25 times y plus 5 squared. I've not calculated. I'm going to pause this because I did not calculate that right hand side yet. Okay, so all of that on the right hand side equaled 900. Now, what we want it to be in this format. So the format up here, very important part, is that the right hand side equals 1. So when we've finished our completing the square, now we need to get it in standard form. So we are going to divide everything by 900. So every term divided by 900. Okay, and now we can simplify with the 36 and 900. 900 divided by 36 is 25. So we end up with x plus 3 squared over 25 plus y plus 5 squared over 36 equals 1. Now we've got it in the standard form that we need it to. On your homework assignment, they will just ask you what is H, what is K, what is P, what is Q. So just use the information they give you up here, and you'll be able to figure out what all of that data is. Also notice that they have P squared, so P is 5 and Q is 6. Okay.